Hello students, welcome to my channel, and in this video we are going to cover our pie charts. In the last two videos you must have seen that I've helped you understanding to the best of my ability about how we answer IELTS Writing Task 1, Academic 1, and there is we have the follow-up questions. Let's say we have got line graphs and pie charts and bar graphs. In this video we are only going to cover the pie charts. So basically, as you can see on your screen also side by side, that I would be giving you the content. So when you're watching my videos, I always suggest you to take notes if you want, but prefer to effectively listen to what I'm saying so that you can understand it and you'll have least doubts. I always make sure that my videos are very simple so that anyone can understand it. And if you want more information, you can always take classes with me. You can book lessons, a lot of things we can do together to help you improve your IELTS score to get the desired bands. Let's start without a further ado. So we have got the pie charts, which are the visual representations of data. There are circle graphs we have, and then in between we have those lines which are separating, different parts, and it'll tell you. It is basically that, you'd be given certain data about something, and then you might get multiple pie charts. So in this video, that's what we're going to cover. A few common things about all, about pie charts, or maybe in writing task 1, it's you have to notice the trends, that whether something is increasing, if it's decreasing, and then summarize those trends. You need to make comparisons, relevant comparisons. You don't need to add a lot of details or each and every detail, but yes, you have to be quite concise and organized when you're writing your answer, and that's what we're gonna learn. This is why at the end of the video I always give you a sample band 9 response so that you can understand that this is an ideal response for you, and you can, when you're trying to write your answer, try to follow the same structure that you have. So what are the 4 things we need to take care of? Coherence, cohesion. Always make sure that your answer is organized. It should have enough vocabulary. I'm not saying that you cannot repeat even one word, but try to have a different range of vocabulary. And if you want more help with the vocabulary, you can always message me. I'll just send you the vocabulary that is sufficient for you in order to get a band 7, 8, 9 in your answers. 4 things in writing task 1 starts with your paraphrasing. Second is overview. Never forget, that's the essential one. That's the most important part you have in your task 1. And then in overview, you do not add details. You just give an overview to the examiner. That's what I'm going to discuss in my further paragraphs. In main body paragraphs, that is the 2 paragraphs in the end that comes after the overview. In those 2 paragraphs, you generally write about the trends, and then you explain them that's what the graph or the pie chart shows. So there's no conclusion in your task 1. There's no your suggestions, your opinions about it. Do not add even one sentence. Stick to the rule that I need to write 150 words plus 10 is fine, 160 could be fine, 170 could be fine also, but please make sure I can write 150, 170 words also. Could be 180 if the data is more, but provided that my grammar is also good enough to write it. But if you feel that you're not confident about grammar, you can always watch my grammar videos. You can call us, you can reach out to us via email, and we'll help you out to understand the basics of grammar which are required. I'm not saying that you have to learn a lot of grammar in order to get a band 7, 8, 9, but at least essentials of grammar you need to know. In order to get a good band score. So you need to write something, the noticeable trends, and not about each and everything about it. So these are the things we need to discuss in your writing task 1 pie chart. So let's get to the question. So we have this question in front of us. As you guys can see, that the pie charts are about they are showing you the university students, British university students who speak more than one language, or who have hold on different languages. That this is about that pie chart that you can see on your screen. Also, there's a PDF attached. You can download the PDF, always keep it open. Also, I'd suggest you to read the PDF after watching my video so that you can actually, understand the task one, and you don't need to, then watch a lot of videos. Just watch my videos twice, as many times as you can, so that you can understand it better, and then you can just apply what I've taught you in these lessons. So let's just understand the pie chart itself. All right, guys, if you've watched my previous videos, I've already highlighted the importance of planning. So always plan your answers in like first 2 to 3 minutes, depends on how quickly you can. The more you practice, your planning time would automatically reduce to like 2 to 3 minutes. So it shows that the percentage of British students, they are able to speak different languages other than English. You can see that there are 2 pie charts given to you, in which the first pie chart is about like 2 other languages 10%, another language 15%, no other language 20%, French only 15%, German only 10%, Spanish 30%. That's the first graph I've just read. If I look at the second graph, you can see that the percentage of British students able to speak languages other than English in 2010. So this means it's comparing 2 different years, that is your 2000 and year 2010. So guys, look at this paragraph, how coherent it is. It is connected. The ideas are connected. The sentences are not ideas. The sentences are connected. The data is connected. Whatever I'm writing, it's connected with each other. You have to add these connectors like similarly, conversely, in contrast, however, although, but. Whenever there's a contrast, if you're adding your ideas, you can write additionally, besides, furthermore, moreover. This is sufficient. If you still want to use more connectors, try nevertheless, nonetheless, these sort of connectors in order to be able to write a good response. Okay, we have noted down how we're going to use our vocab range. We have understood how to write an overview. We have understood how to paraphrase the question statement. And now we're going to move towards our final para, that is the last para. That is the para which has other details. Regarding specific languages, the proportion of students speaking Spanish, they grew from 30 to 35%, reinforcing the status that's the most widely spoken second language. In contrast, the proportion of those speaking French decreased from 15 to 10% over the same period. The percentage of students speaking German and those speaking another unspecified language remained constant at just 10% across both years. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna delete this and those other unspoken ones. So just write the percentage of students speaking German remained at 10. You can see that the percentage of German speakers is 10%, while the speakers, who are speaking French, it has decreased. So that's the only contrast we have. And then in the final sentence, it's like the percentage of students who are speaking German, they are at 10% across the over the decade in these 10-year time period. So that's what you're gonna do. Okay, I'll just explain once again what we have done in main body paragraph 1 and 2, the details paragraph. So in details paragraph, I've just added the details, the ones that I could see when I first look at the graph, and then when I'm trying to, put my all details in just to where I know that I have word limit. I'm already aware of it. I know that I have like just 150 words I can write. It's not like you, but it's like at least 150 words. But it doesn't mean that you can write 250 words, 300 words. If you do that over and over again, I repeat myself, if you do that, you're gonna reduce your scores for the vocabulary, you're gonna reduce your scores for the grammar, because you'll not be able to write, and maybe your spellings can also affect your scores. So why would you like to get a 6.5 when you are able to get a band 7 or 7.5 in IELTS writing? The same rules will apply to the essays, and we'll be discussing more in my upcoming videos about the essays as well. All right, so what we have done as of now, we have written details in our main body para 1, main body para 2, which are basically para 3 and para 4 in our overall answer. We have just added the details. In year 2000, I'm just repeating it, 10% of the students were able to speak 2 foreign languages, and this figure rose to 15%. And then similarly, the percentage of students who spoke 1 additional language, again, you can see the coherence in the response, 15 to 20%. Conversely, the proportion of students who spoke only 1 English language, only English, dropped significantly. Now you can see that how I've connected the data. I've organized it to an extent where I'm even saying about one additional languages, more than two languages, and then students who spoke only English in one paragraph. And then in my other paragraph, I've talked about French, Spanish, and German language interest, right? So this is how you can organize the data. The more you can, create this in your, so what you will do is, like, when you are practicing, try to organize your data in this way, and you will see that your answers would be more precise if you're trying to write this way. So how I've organized it. When it comes to writing about French, Spanish, and German, I've connected in para 4, the final paragraph. Whereas in para 3, I talked about 2 additional languages, 1 additional languages, and students who don't speak other language than English. So that's how I've organized it. Okay, overall, what is this task 1 about? You need to plan it again for 2 to 3 minutes, and then afterwards write it in like 11 minutes, 12 minutes maximum, and then proofread your answer. Proofreading is very important when you are writing your answers, because without proofreading, it would be very difficult for you to understand what mistakes you've made. Maybe you've made a spelling mistake and you forgot about it when you're checking it, so there's no Grammarly or anything. If you're going for like pen and paper exam, then it's easy to get a hold of it. But yeah, always proofread it, because when it comes to proofreading, it's gonna elevate your scores again to by 0.5 or 1. You can improve, depends on how many mistakes you have made. If you've made more mistakes, then you're able to check it, you're able to give yourself a feedback during the exam, so in that way you'll be able to improve your band score by 0.5. 100% sure. Students who don't proofread always get less scores than those who do proofread their answers, and then they just check it that, okay, we've made the spelling mistake, let's just quickly correct it, and that's it. Planning, organize your response, use a wide range of vocabulary, enough vocabulary. I'm not saying that you should use all hell lot of words. I'm not saying that. If you see my answers, they're like pretty simple to academic words, and I'm not repeating myself a lot, and that's what we call it, like adequate vocabulary range. Good words, enough good words that you're able to get at least band 7, 8, 9 also, if you are to write this sort of response. So if you want us to evaluate your answers, to provide you feedback, you can reach out to us via your email or maybe via YouTube channel, however you want to connect, and we'll be able to help you with providing you the feedback also of your writing task. We'll give you a free assessment if you want. I hope you've liked this video. For any doubt, you can comment in the comment section below, and we'll reply you soon. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great day ahead. And in 2010, the trends are different. So basically, the examiner wants us to compare these 2 pie charts, and the data is about the percentage of British students we have who are able to speak more than 1 language. If you notice it down, like if you look at it in a single chart, what you can see is the maximum area is being occupied by Spanish language. This means Spanish is pretty common or pretty popular among British students. And then if you see 2 other languages, so other than English, the British university students, they are able to speak more than 1 language, 2 other languages, which is like the numbers have increased. No other language, the percentage is reduced down to half, because over 20% people who could speak no other language than English. But then it reduces to like 10%. This means like more people are getting used to speaking different languages. Now, if you see there, that's what we can see when we're looking at the overview, right? You can see at the another language also that they can speak any one more language other than English, which is like, it has increased again, which is 50 to 20%. So overall, what you can see from this trend is that their ability to learn more than 1 language has improved. That's what you can write in your overall as well. Again, it's not an opinion. That's what you can read from the graph. Their interest in German remains the same. The French, yes, the percentage of French speakers have reduced from 15% to 10%, and that's what we're going to write in our answers. So whenever you are trying to follow me, you should always be reading the graphs like this. So spend at least 1 to 2 minutes on reading this graph the way I just did, so that you can understand that what are the main trends, and this would help you to just plan and organize the answer. So for example, now I know what I'm gonna write in my overview, because I've just checked the all these trends that are coming forward. So let's just start writing the answers instead. So when it comes to paraphrasing, what I have written is the 2 pie charts illustrate the proportion of British university students who could speak various foreign languages excluding English in the years 2000 and 2010. So the two pie charts, they illustrate the proportion of British university students who could speak various foreign languages excluding English in the years 2010 and 2010. So that's what we are comparing, the proportion of students, right? And we're going to compare it in the further paragraphs. Step 1, introduction, paraphrase the question statement, then afterwards you should write about what are we going to do in our overall. It's basically you're giving just an overview of how you are going to describe your, or how you're going to detail these details in your main body paragraphs. There's a lot of detail, but it's not that you don't have to write a lot of details, so why? Okay, so now here it comes my overview. Overall, there was a noticeable increase in the number of students who speak at least one additional language, while the proportion of those who spoke only English declined, and then Spanish remained the most popular language. So when I'm writing this overview, when you are watching my video, when you're trying to understand why I've written this sort of overview, always make sure that you have kept your graph like this pie chart on one side and then this answer on the other, so that you can see them simultaneously and you can read the content from there. If you're just reading my answer, you're just listening to me, this may not help you much. I mean, steps are to look at the graph, the pie chart, pie graph at the time. Look at the pie chart, look at my overview, listen to me, and then you'll be able to get that holistic view of, okay, this is how we need to write the overall. Overall means writing whatever trends you can see from, by just looking at the graph in the first 2 minutes, and then just plan your overall, right? Why I focus a lot on overview? Because if you go to the IELTS band descriptors, it's clearly written that you cannot get a band 7 without writing a clear overview. Doesn't matter what maybe your content is pretty organized in your details paragraph, but that's not going to help you. At the end of the day, you should know how to write a good overview. Even if you want a band 6, you need to write a really good overview. All right, so now we're going to start with our details paragraphs. In year 2000, 10% of our students were able to speak 2 foreign languages, and this figure rose to 15% by 2010. Similarly, the percentage of students who spoke 1 additional language increased from 15 to 20%. So guys, look at it. I've started it from in 2010. 10% of students were able to speak 2 foreign languages, and this figure rose to 15%. Similarly, the percentage of students who spoke 1 additional language, they increased from like 15 to 20%. Conversely, the proportion of students who spoke only English dropped significantly from 20% in 2000 to just 10% in 2010. So I've used 2 vocabulary, the connectors as well. So the importance of connectors is, if you've watched my other videos, you have got to understand the importance of connectors when you're writing your coherent response. It's gonna be like you have to add connectors. And why do we add connectors? Just to show the examiner that there's a connection between your sentences. The connectors, why does the word connectors are used? Why do we call it a connector? The connector means it can connect your words, it can connect your ideas. Even when I'm speaking, I'm using a lot of connectors just to connect my ideas, to make sure that my sentences are coherent, they're connected. I'm just going to read this paragraph once again to help you understand what does it mean. So if you look at the graph again simultaneously, in year 2000, 10% of the students were able to speak 2 foreign languages, and this figure, what happened in 2010, rose to 15%. Similarly, the percentage of students who spoke 1 additional language, it increased, because it was like 15% in 2000, but then it's 20% in 2010. Conversely, the proportion of students who spoke only English dropped significantly from 20% in 2000 to just 10% in 2010. And in 2010,